Am I showing you this inside out? Yep. Well done, Lizzie. Hello, welcome back to this episode of Hive Knits and Natters podcast. My name's Lizzie, I'm the maker behind Hive Knits and I'm a knitter. I live in the northwest of England, and when I'm not knitting, I work as a doctor to fund my yarn habit. If you're new, hello. If you're a returning viewer, you have waited a very long time for this video. A very, very, very long time. My last episode was ironically called something like I'm back or something like that, and then there's been a really long gap again, so I'm very sorry. I do have a very good excuse, which I will fill you in on in just a minute, but yes, I'm probably going to be a little bit rusty. I did film the festive vlogs in December, but that was kind of different kind of video, and even that's like 3 months ago now. So yeah, moral of the story is it's been a really long time, but here I am, I'm back and I'm in front of the camera. Felt right to film today, so here we are. I am modelling today one of my own designs. So I knit other people's patterns and I also design patterns as well. This is the first tee which I released since we last spoke, actually. I kind of released it whilst the festive vlogs were going on, but it's been released since the last podcast episode. This is one iteration of many of the first tee. I'll pop some pictures in of the other ones, but this is the original sample that I made and didn't love at the time. And then I put it on today and was like, oh, yeah, no, quite like this one. I was inspired because I saw that the lovely ladies in the yarn shop that's not too far from me, Tangled Yarn in Poynton, Rachel, who is the mum, and Neve, who's the daughter of that duo. Rachel was one of the test knitters for the first tee, and then Neve was wearing it in a picture that they posted this morning because they're open today. And I saw it and I was like, right, I need to put my first tee on. So yes, here we are. I will stand up so you or move so you can see some of the details. So this is a raglan t-shirt with the half fisherman's rib sleeves and stockinette body, crew neck, and oh dear, you can definitely see some of my ends that I haven't weaved in yet. Ooh, there we go. Yes, this was the first sample that I finished. This is made in Sandnes Duo, which is a 50-50 cotton and merino blend. And I'd forgotten how nice this fabric is. When I initially made this sample, I wasn't in love with it because the sleeve, if I can show you, was a little bit, like there's a puff on these sleeves, but I felt like there was a little bit too much. Subsequent samples I made had just a little bit less positive ease in the sleeve, and I actually ended up making 4 samples. Released it in December with a black kind of sparkly sample which I made with some stellina thread running through it, and then yeah, it's been winter. I wore my Christmassy one loads around the festive season. But then the weather here in the UK has been starting to pick up a little bit. There's definitely signs of spring out there. And I thought, you know what? It's time for the first tee to come back out of hibernation. So if you're interested, this pattern is available on my Ravelry. And you can see all the lovely test knitters versions as well. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today and feeling good. So, elephant in the room. The reason I've been gone so long, partly, I feel like I'm always apologising in all these video episodes about how long it's been since I filmed a podcast, blah, blah, blah. And that tends to be because life's just been busy. Like, I've quite an intense job, so sometimes there's just not, life stuff gets in the way of filming, and that is fine. However, I do have some news, which you've probably seen if you follow me over on Instagram. But myself and my husband are expecting a baby, which is really exciting. due in September, so I am between 17 and 18 weeks pregnant right now, and that is why this slightly more forgiving, more ease sample of the first tea is good for today. um, I'm sure loads of you have been through it, obviously, but yeah, my body's changing and it's a little bit difficult to keep up with. I'm at that awkward, like, in between stage where I don't really fit in maternity clothes, but I don't really fit in my own clothes either. So, short of wearing kind of baggy hoodies and leggings, which I don't particularly want to wear and can't wear for work, it's been a bit of a challenge readjusting to what fits and what makes me feel like me, because that's important as well. So, yes, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I'm aware that this isn't a topic that everybody wants to hear about, so I totally understand if you want to skip through this part. I should have said that at the beginning, but yeah, I'm just going to talk about it for a couple of minutes and then we'll move on. Although there will be some baby knits later on in the episode. So if that is triggering for you, then I apologise, and I will put the chapters in so you'll be able to pick which bits you want to watch and which bits you want to skip. So I literally couldn't knit at all for the whole first trimester. I felt really poorly, felt really tired, really sick, and just all my energy went into like putting like one foot in front of the other and just getting through the days. And I didn't have any time off work, so I've been working like as a GP during this, and it's just been a lot. And I just didn't feel like it. I just couldn't interest myself in knitting, so that is not like me. But after the 12-week mark, and after we had our scan, it's definitely slowly come back. I started making a few baby things. We don't know if we're having a boy or a girl yet, so I've been making gender neutral things, and I think that helped because they're so small. It's like that kind of instant gratification, which was helped with the motivation. And now I am knitting quite a lot again, which is really nice. I did miss it. But yeah, I'm now feeling pretty well, just getting used to my body changing, and yeah, just trying to give myself a bit of space to like not feel like firing on all cylinders all the time, because like I said, working and everything as well. So I apologise for the delay. I feel like that's a very good reason. If you disagree, sorry. That's how it is. So that's all the kind of chit chat underway. Let's show you some knitting, shall we? I don't actually have any finished objects to show you. The sparkly version of the first tee is a finished object since we last spoke, and I'll have already shown you that in a little video. So I have quite a few whips and then quite a few acquisitions to chat about actually. Some of them have been gifted and sponsored, which is really, really exciting. And some of them I've bought with my own pennies. So I'll show you the whips, I'll show you the things I've acquired, and then I'm also going to talk to you about a really fun day out that myself and my mum had. We went on a yarn dyeing workshop, which was really, really fun. I'll tell you more later, but we went to Peak District Yarns in Tideswell, which is a little village in the Peak District, as it says on the tin, and I will show you the skeins that I'll show you the skeins I came home with. My mum obviously has hers. I got it for her as a Christmas or birthday present. And obviously the best gifts are the ones that you can also enjoy yourself. So yeah, it was really, really fun. Excuse me. And I'll be able to show you what I made, which is very, very exciting. Learned loads. There's way more to hand-dyed yarn than I thought, and that sounds really crass, and not that I didn't think it was a skill and etc. But yeah, my mind was blown, let me tell you, and I'll fill you in later on. Right, so my first whip to show you is my Lyon Sweater, and I think I was somewhere in the yoke when I last showed this, and we have made quite significant progress since then. Let me see if I can hold her up. Looks absolutely terrible. Try and showcase it a bit better than that. There we go. She's a bit wrinkled because she's been in a bag. But essentially we have yoke, we have almost one sleeve finished, we have, that was me showing you that the body is pretty much finished. I just have left it before starting the ribbing so I can do a try on. So yeah, we are much further on with this than when I last showed you. This is a pattern by Petite Knit, and it is made with the same construction as the poppy tee, if anybody's made that. I really, really like it actually. You kind of start like you would with a drop shoulder. So you cast on and you do increases at the back, and then you pick up for the right and left shoulder, but then you instead of kind of leaving like an armhole and then joining under the arm like you would in a normal drop shoulder, you actually pick up some stitches for the sleeve cap along here where my finger's wiggling, which just makes a really, really nice shaped sleeve. And it's exactly the same as the poppy tee, and I remember really enjoying working that, so that's kind of why I chose this pattern. And then it's just got a nice crew neck. Did I say it was a raglan? It sort of is, because after you've done that bit of the shoulder cap shaping, you then go into raglan shaping. So it's got all sorts. So it's quite an intensive yoke, and you're always kind of checking what you're doing. And I quite like that. It made it go quite fast. And then nice kind of crew neck, which I've done as a double folded collar. Yeah, the yarn for this is the real money piece, I think. This, I'm trying to find a nice patch to show you. Let's go with the sleeve. This was a wedding present from my wonderful knitting friends, Laura, Sophie, Simona and Caroline, and they got custom hand dye from Zakami, which was just like, that's peak gifting, isn't it? And absolutely beautiful. This is the fabric that I have. So we've got flecks of green, we've got flecks of brown. The grey is actually not that yarn, it's a base that I bought to go with it. So, oh, here's the label from the hand dyed. Oops, let me unfold. The Kami, and it's there. So it's a custom dye. You can read that. Wisdale Park, which is our wedding venue, and it's the baby alpaca fluff, I think they call their base, but it's 75% our baby Surrey alpaca, 25% silk, so it's absolutely beautiful. And this is what it's like on its own. So you can see it's kind of on a neutral base, but then it's got these flecks of green and the brown, just beautiful. And then I am holding it with this, which is where the sweater gets the grey from, which is just stunning. This is a merino and silk blend from West Yorkshire Spinners. It's the Exquisite 4-ply. I think the shade is called Knightsbridge, and I got this, I saw it in Beautiful Knitters in the flesh, and then I think I ordered it from somewhere that had the sweater quantity in stock. I can't 100% remember, but yeah, they're these guys, and they make this guy. So yeah, love this. It's so soft. I haven't made a garment with Surrey alpaca yet, I don't think. I think all my fluff in garments is mohair. There, that's a good way to show you how much I've done. Yay! As always, when I show a whip, I'm like, why have I not finished it? Why is it languishing in a bag? which is a question I do need to ask myself. So, yeah, that is she. That is my whip number one, and definitely, definitely further on than when I last showed. That was 6 months ago, so she better be, to be quite honest. Where to go next? I've got 3 more whips to show you, one of which is an adult-sized one, and one of which is 2 of which are baby-sized ones. So shall we go with the adult one, and then I'll move into the baby knits. Then we'll go to acquisitions, and then I'll show you the yarn I dyed. Sounds like a plan to me. This was also a whip in the last podcast episode, but again, more progress has been made. This was also shelved for ages. I couldn't knit, never mind think about like design and calculations, and ugh, no. So it got shelved, and then the mojo came back when I started making small people things, and then just suddenly the other day I was like, I really want to work on that. So here we are. So you may or may not remember this bad boy. This is my Tao Slipover. So had I released the towel? Now I'm doubting myself. If I had even released the Tao sweater when I recorded my last podcast. I was wearing it in the last episode because I just had a quick flick through. One of my designs, the most recent release, is the Tao sweater, which is, I should have brought it down with me, but it's an all over textured drop shoulder. This is the same stitch pattern. So it is sort of an offset rib, I would say. So it's 1 by 1 rib, then a row of for 2 rows, then a row of pearls, and then you offset the 1 by 1 rib. And for those of you who remember, it is called Tao, not because it's some philosophical meaning of the universe, or which is apparently what Tao means in like Chinese. It is oat backwards, and I liked the oat stitch that I made a friend's baby's newborn gift in, and I really liked the wrong side, so I was like, oh, what's oat backwards? T-A-O, Tao. Tao, because this that little baby outfit used this stitch, and it was a knitting for olive pattern, and it was called the oat wrap. And yeah, I really liked the wrong side. I think when I last showed you, I'd done the back panel of this and then picked up at least one of the shoulders, but yeah, we have done quite a lot more now. I don't think it's going to take me too long to finish this now. You can see where I'm at. I actually steam blocked this last night because I'm having some issues. Not issues, I'm having some decision making. I'm having to make some decisions, I think is what I'm trying to say, about armhole depth, because I haven't designed a slipover before. I've knit only one, the Sunday slipover, and I really like how that fits. So I use that as a bit of a guide as to how kind of how I wanted this to fit on the shoulders and the bust. But I kind of didn't realise, well, I say I didn't. My notes from this were written ages. I mean, obviously at the time I filmed the last podcast, which was like 6 months ago, so it's kind of hard to pick up my thought process. But I don't remember making specific or seeing specific notes I'd made about the armhole depth. I'd worked out how many underarm increases to do and what stitch counts to end up with, but I don't remember seeing how I'd worked out like incorporating the row gauge into that. Maybe I did and just didn't write it down, but when I was coming back to it, I couldn't find it. So, oh, this is what it looks like at the back, by the way. This is much easier to hold up than a sweater. So we've got some, let me show you the shoulder shaping, just a little bit of shoulder shaping there, and then we go into the this kind of stockinette portion that flanks the armhole, and then that merges into the underarm increases. So that's kind of what it will look like at the back. So, yes, I steam blocked this last night because when I finished the Tao sweater, oh, this is made in Peer Gynt and a strand of mohair, which is exactly the same as what the sweater version is made of. Sweater version I made in like a bright lime green with gepard mohair, and this I'm making in this like mossy foresty green, and it's still Peer Gynt. But the mohair I'm holding with it is this, and this is just some drops kid silk in a colour that was a good match. I got this from Tangled Yarn. I got the lime Peer Gynt for the jumper sample from knit.co.uk, I believe. But yes, when I wet blocked that, when I'd finished it, it actually grew quite a lot. I think Peer Gynt's not superwash, but it's heavy. Peer Gynt is it's got a bit of weight behind it, and then the whole jumper is like oversized and all over texture, so it was heavy. And it kind of relaxed a lot more than I thought it would. Now I'm obviously knitting this and it's not been wet blocked. It feels quite different. So I think my armholes are going to be okay, but I wasn't sure if they were going to be if there wasn't going to be enough length. But then I didn't want to rip back and make them much bigger without having knit the whole thing, because then you haven't got the accuracy of the weight of the garment. Admittedly, there's no sleeves on this, so you haven't got that weight as well, but you have got the weight of the whole body, which definitely will pull down. I took some B-roll this morning of me trying this on, and I show you in there the two different underarms that I've done at the minute. So obviously they're the same. I've done my increases and then we join in the round here. But on one side, I have experimented with I didn't want there to be, because the yarn is it's like works up to like a worsted weight combo. It's quite a heavy DK, and then the mohair as well. I didn't want there to be too much with the underarm trim. I didn't want there to be too much fabric under here. So I experimented on this side with, I move that out of the way, some central double decreasing under the arm, which kind of makes this, it makes it sit quite a lot more flush to, can you see that? Yeah, there we go. Makes this really quite flush. It doesn't the fabric doesn't stick out like that. Especially when I kind of put a bit of tension on it, as it will when there's the weight of the fabric. However, because you can see there where the armhole kind of would have been without the trim to where it finishes with the trim, is the height of this is quite significant. It has kind of made the arm aperture smaller. Whereas on this side, I've done something different. Also, I think I did 9 rounds of rib on this side with the central double decreases, and then did the 2 rounds of double knit, and then did an Italian bind off or tubular or whatever you call it. Whereas this side, I think I've only done 7, so the trim is a bit thinner, and it's not got those extra rows of bind off because I haven't bound this side off yet, which is making it a little bit difficult to compare because it's on these stitch holders and it keeps kind of losing its shape a little bit. But can you see that there? And then I haven't done a central double decrease at the bottom there. That was terrible, you can't see anything. Let's try that again. Yeah, I haven't done a central double decrease. Hence, and again, like I said, it's difficult because I haven't bound it off yet, but you can see that it doesn't sit as flush as the other side. The fabric comes out in that kind of right angle almost to the body that I was talking about, but then because it's not as tall, I don't think it matters so much. So you can see, hopefully now I've shown you the difference on the two sides. That's the side with the double decrease, that's the side without. So I'm trying to decide what I prefer. I was leaning towards, because I thought initially that underarm trim needed to match the height of the collar or it wouldn't quite look right. So that's what I did on, yeah, this side. But actually, I think I might be leaning towards the smaller trim. I think. I just keep holding it up, don't I? That's probably not that helpful. What do you think? Hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense with me in the B-roll wearing it. I have done, when I tried this on, as you'll see, it doesn't even quite come to my belly button yet. I don't want this to be like long. It might be like slightly cropped, maybe, probably with a split hem. So I do need to add some more length, which will add some more weight, and this hasn't been wet blocked, so caveat everything you see in the video with that. I'm not wearing anything under it on my top half in the video, so it's just next to skin, which isn't how I'd wear it at all. So I guess I need to bear in mind that for the armhole, you know, there would be fabric from what I'm wearing underneath that there, be that be like a long sleeve t-shirt or like a collared shirt. Yeah, I'm interested to know what you think. I think I'm leaning this way at the minute, which surprises me because I thought I'd lean this way. I think, though, I don't think I need to go back and lengthen the actual underarm on the where we join for the underarm. That's what I was worried about. I don't think I need to do that. I think it is low enough. I think I just need to decide on the trim, because the trim is what's going to make the difference. I guess if I really, really, really wanted to do this, then maybe I would have to make the underarm longer to compensate for the loss in the circumference of the actual armhole that you get. But I think I'm leaning this way. And I maybe wouldn't do the couple of rounds of double knit. I might just do the Italian bind off without the double knit and see. What I don't want is for it to flare. I want it to like sit nicely. But I think that probably would, because when I adjust the stitches on the stitch holder, it's not wanting to flare. Yeah, let me know what you think. But I'm very excited to progress with this. I did talk about this on my Instagram stories, but my husband said it looks like Wallace's slipover from Wallace and Gromit, and ever since he said that, I can't unsee it. So I've decided that that is a good thing. I think Wallace is an absolute style icon. He's from around here as well, so you know. So yeah, I don't see that as a negative. Just to say quickly as well, I have bought yarn for a second sample. This is more Peer Gynt, and this is colour 1021, which I think is called Ash Melange or Pale Grey or something like that. I think it is Ash Melange, because this is one of the petite knit colourways. It's very nice. But I think I want my second sample to be, obviously this is like crew necked. I think I want the second sample to be V-necked with buttons, like a little slipover jacket that are kind of popular at the minute, like a little waistcoat, I guess. I'd probably put them both in the same pattern. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think that would look like really, really nice in this colour, and would give like a good kind of neutral base to play with buttons as well. So yeah, that's my plan. Watch the space for that. Okay, how are we doing for time? Half an hour, not bad. Okay, they're the adult whips. Let me show you the baby whips. I don't think that'll take too long because they're really teeny tiny. So I've only got two on the go at the minute. My mum is making a blanket and a sweater as well. I feel like when I know if it's boy or girl, I'll get more like, I'll feel that urge to like start making stuff a little bit more. But let me show you what we have so far. So cute. So the first one I have is this little tiny jumper. Yeah, there we go. This is the Seaside sweater from the Petite Knit Seaside set. You can see there little raglans, and on this side it will have buttons. It's got buttonholes obviously already, and yeah, I've done it in this really cute, I think, like cream and green stripe. The cream is Arvetta. Where is it? Where are you? This is the cream. This was left over from samples that Simona from Knit very kindly sent me for swatching for my wedding cardigan, actually. That's where that came from. And the green is this Sandnes Sunday. I think this is in olive, and this is what I'm using for my Maud tee, which we're not going to talk about because it definitely should be finished, and it isn't. But I've nicked a little bit of it for this. I mean, gosh, it's only going to be a few grams for the stripes. That's the back. Isn't it just so cute? This is in newborn size, and I'm well aware that when babies are born, they'll probably wear their newborn size things for really not very long, and economically it probably makes much more sense to make bigger things, but it's my baby and I really wanted to make something really tiny, so that's what I've done. As you can tell, there's one sleeve missing, but then this will be finitoed. I may or may not make the trousers, I'm not sure. It does come with the trousers in the set. I did actually earmark some, oh, I've put it somewhere else. Yeah, I don't have it with me. Some more Arvetta, but in marzipan, which is left over from my first sweater, that I might use for the trousers because they are really cute. But oh my word, I have found so many lovely baby patterns that I want to make. I've got like a folder now on Ravelry. But like I said, I think I'm gonna hold off slightly until like we definitely know what we're having, because it's not so much a colour thing, like the pink, classic pink blue thing, that doesn't bother me. Like either could definitely wear something like this or what I'm going to show you next. It's more just like some of the stuff, again, the style, like this for example, super gender neutral, no problem, but I do love some of the sort of like frilly rompers and stuff that I found, and you could definitely make them for either, but I think I would probably only make them for a girl. That's my gut feeling, so I'm gonna hold off, and then yeah, properly plan out what I'm gonna make when we know. So maybe I'll do a little video on that, who knows. But yeah, this is so cute, little Seaside sweater by Petite Knit. And the other thing, my other baby whip is this, which is, oh my gosh, chaos, because there's just ends everywhere again. Okay, and there's needles everywhere. This is going to look awful. This is such a bad time to try and show it to you because it's at a really awkward stage. And I have completely forgotten who the designer is for these. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't tell you. I will put it on the screen down below or both. But these are basically some little dungarees, like rompery thing. And you can see. So I have split for the legs. This is the leg that I've just started working on, and this will be the other leg. And they're just so cute. They have this really sweet little garter trim. There you go. You can see it properly now. Whee! This is the front because it's got little buttonholes. and then there will be straps that kind of hook, join the front and the back. But yeah, they're so cute, and they're very, very, very soft. These are made with this yarn, which I was gifted very, very kindly. This is Merino Thin by Imagine Yarn. I used their merino linen a couple of years ago to make an Alexandra tee, and then they gifted me some of their alpaca kind of fingering weight yarn, which I am actually using in a different project, but not made progress, so I won't show you today. But then they also chucked in 2 of these. So I'm not a massive accessory knitter. I don't really make loads of like hats or mittens or really, and so two balls of this is sport weight. It's called Merino Thin, but it's actually sport weight. I think it runs 175 meters, 50 grams. Struggled to know what to do with. Would have worked well for stripes actually. And it's this lovely kind of, it's definitely brown, but in different lights it sort of looks, it leans a little bit purple. So that's what I'm making these little dungers out of, because I thought, actually, do you know what? That's enough there. These are, I think, yeah, I'm making the newborn size, but my gauge, the pattern's written for a fingering weight. I think it might be Sunday actually, the pattern's written for, and this is a sport. So I thought I'll just knit the newborn size and they'll probably come out a touch bigger. Maybe not, because my tension is quite tight. I haven't even checked my tension for these because I only have 2 balls, and so that will just have to do. But as you can see, I've only just started this one, and I've done everything except the legs and the straps, so we should be fine for yarn. But yeah, really cute colour. It's kind of, yeah, plummy brown, I would say, in different lights. So that's that, and those are my baby whips. So let's show you, shall we, what I have acquired recently. So let me think how to do this. Essentially, I have acquired some yarn that I got in a Destash. I have acquired some new needles which were gifted to me, and I have acquired a project bag making kit which was also gifted to me. So let me think about which order we should do these in. I'll show you the yarn first, I think. There's actually very much more than I thought there was going to be. So I have previously made a sweater number 11 using some hand-dyed mohair from a lovely dyer called Rhea Yarns, who sadly no longer dyes yarn, but she's just really, really lovely. We've chatted a few times, and on her Instagram I saw she was having a Destash, and I was like, oh, let's have a nosy. And it was initially some Sandness Sunday that I saw, and I was like, oh, that'll be great, like so many of the baby knits are like in fingering weight, brilliant. And it was like a nice neutral colour, so I said, if it's still available, can I have it? Then we got into a chat about what else she had, and that's where the trouble started. So let me show you. This was the original Sunday. This is in this, I've used this shade before. In fact, I think this is the same as this, whether or not it's going to show up the same. Yeah, I'm 99% sure that this is knit in their kit colourway, which is what this is, 1015. But obviously a different base. So this is the Duo, and this is Sunday, which is 100% merino wool fingering weight. So anyway, yeah. This is the same base as the green yarn I was just showing you that I'm making my little Seaside jumper in. So this is what she initially had, and I was like, yes, that'll be brilliant for baby knits. And she also was pairing it with this in the same colourway. So this is, I can never pronounce this, Folgertrad, alpaca Folgertrad, which is like a lace weight alpaca sort of second strand mohair alternative sort of situation. And also in the kit colourway, the 1015, that's them together. They're ever so slightly, that is quite true to what they look like actually. The Sunday is coming out a little bit cooler than the alpaca. So brilliant. I was like, I could definitely make something out of those, probably for the baby, because I got, how many did she have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Sunday. So that's 250 grams of the Sunday, and then 1, 2, 3 of the alpaca. So are these 50 grams as well, or are they 25? Yeah, so 150 grams of the alpaca, but this runs at 400 meters per 50 grams, so loads of this. Ultimately, definitely enough to make a baby thing. So that was really exciting. And then she was like, do you want to look at what else I've got? So I ended up with some of this, which is drops, and it's muscat, which I've never used before. But it looks like quite a cotton. Well, I know it's a cotton, but it's got a bit of a sheen on it. Can you see the way that's catching the light? Yeah. So, and I also can't decide if this is blue or lilac. It's looking more lilac on camera, but in real life it's looking more blue. So yeah, I'll decide what to do with this. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's called lavender. She's written on it. Lavender. Okay, fine. So it is lilac. But this runs at 100 meters, so 400 meters. Don't know. May end up being a baby thing again, or maybe a little cami or something for me. These were thrown in as well, which are like nothing. I would never normally like buy anything like this, but I thought they were really cool. Some tweedy skeins. So these are, I think she said they were in Irish. Yeah, Donegal yarns, Kilcar, County Donegal, Ireland. Amazing. So these are like beautiful sort of tweedy 100% wool. They must be, they feel like that. Yeah, 100% merino wool, spun in from Ireland. And there's 2 different shades. So these are very cool. Again, not something I normally go for, but they got chucked into to the Destash. So again, I have to think what I'm going to make with these. They're not really my colours, and they're very rustic and woolly. So not sure what we're going to use these for, but I just thought they were really pretty. So here they are. And then the star of the show, I think. So when I said she used to dye yarns, this is one of her hand dyes. Isn't it amazing? I can't remember for the life of me what this was called, but it's absolutely stunning. You can see so many different colours in there. This beautiful cobalt. And look at this end, we've got yellow, almost green, pink, purple. Oh, it's just beautiful. This is on the Suri alpaca base, and this is one that's been caked up. Show you. So pretty. So I'm thinking with these, I'm going to make a pram blanket. So I'm not sure how much yardage I'll have here. I'd imagine they definitely run, lighter than mohair skeins. So maybe 300 meters instead of 400 meters each. but with a little blanket, I can just knit to half and then knit the other half. So I think no matter boy, girl, whatever, it would look so good knit up with like a, not this, because this is a fingering, well, no, I'd probably use a DK or like a Peruvian Highland wool or something to try and make it go a little bit further, but like a nice neutral base. And then this as a second strand in a pram blanket. And because it's Surrey, it's so soft. That'll be really, really cool. Just rocking around with my pram, with my bright coloured blanket. So yeah, that's the plan for these. But yeah, I think everything all in was about 40 euros or something. I just thought that was such good value for so much yarn. Like I said, I originally got it for this, and I don't know what Sunday retails at. Maybe I'm guessing here, but I'd imagine like £5-6. So I don't think that's bad for everything that I got as well. And you know, destashes are nice. It's helps somebody get rid of stuff that they don't want anymore, and then you know it's not being like, you know, it's getting another life and another use. So yeah. My yarn storage is currently in the room that's going to become the nursery, so that's going to be interesting. Reorganizing everything and finding a home for it, because yeah, it definitely can't stay where it is at the minute. So buying a load of new yarn is maybe not the best idea, but I am stash diving for a lot of the baby stuff. So because I've just got, you know, the odd skein of this or that left, it's really nice just to be able to pick it out and be like, right, that'll be enough for like this with stripes or this in a tiny size, or so that's how I'm justifying it. Right, let me show you my new needles. So around Christmas time, I was gifted some needles from Lantern Moon, and I'd kind of heard of them, not like I couldn't have kind of, if you'd said to me, name a needle company, I wouldn't have said Lantern Moon. But when I heard the name, I was like, oh yeah, I have heard of you guys. And they asked if they could send me some needles in exchange for like a couple of Instagram kind of post reels. So I said, yes, that'd be really cool. Thank you very much. And they didn't tell me what I had to say. They didn't say I had to be positive, negative, anything. That there was no obligation from that standpoint, other than, you know, the deliverable, as they call it. But I love these needles. I use them all the time now. Yeah, they came in this case, zips open, and got like cordy storage on this side. The needles are here and whoop, here. And then it also got like some really cute little stitch markers that came with it. There were 4, 2 of them are currently on my slipover. They're very sweet with these little tassels on. And stitch stoppers and little tightening key things. And they're just this lovely, like really high quality wood. Please show. And that's like the needle stopper. And yeah, one of the best thing about this set is the cords. I am such a huge fan of these cords. So this is going to be nigh on impossible to show you. So they're swivel cords, which I absolutely love, first and foremost. And I don't know if you can see, but they're like a coated metal. That's kind of what they look like in the cord itself. I hope you can see that. So the kit came with 3 different length cords, but I've ordered more. As soon as I tried them, I was like, these are amazing. I've never tried Chaogu cords, but I hear similar things about them. They don't get stuck in a particular shape, and the swivel is just amazing, and they're really strong, but they're really smooth because of the coatedness of the metal. So I really, really recommend these cords. They're quite expensive, but you do get 2 in a pack, so they're not actually as expensive as it seems, if that makes sense. So huge fan of the cords. And then let me show you the needles. So the kit came with really good sizing. I didn't even say the name of it. This is the Ancestry needle interchangeable needle set, and it comes all the way from a 3mm to a, what are these big boys, 6, which is great. My other needles that I love to use are my Licker driftwoods, and they only start at a 3.25. It's actually very annoying not having a 3. So yes, let me show you these. So they are like, I think are they ebony? Really dark wood with these gold sort of the bits that attach to the cord. These are the tips. I've gone for the short tips because I just love shorties. But these are they. So these are the 5mm tips in the shorty style. And yeah, they're so smart. Really, really smooth. And I've just absolutely loved working with them. The other good thing is that the screw-on bit here, it's compatible with other needle brand of cords. So they work with the cords that came with my Licker needles, and they work with Knit Pro cords, and that's basically all I have. So all my cords that I had already are compatible with these, but the new cords are like so good. So yeah, really, really thankful to Lantern Moon. Genuinely, I think all my projects apart from my Slipover, which I'd already started before I got these, and now on these. And you know, I wouldn't be saying that if I didn't genuinely really, really like them. You can't order directly from their website. Someone did ask me. You have to look at their list of stockists, but I know that Simona at knit.co.uk does stock these, so they are pricey, but like I said, you do get a 3 all the way up to 6mm needles, and in between, so you get the 3, 3.25, 3.5, 3.75, 4, then they start going in 0.5 increments, and I think that's really generous. Big fan. Right, okay, so the last thing I have to, no, second to last thing I have to show you is my project bag kit. So bear with. Sorry if we're in a slightly different position to what we were before. I was storing this under the chair that I'm sat on, so I had to do a bit of jiggling about to get it out. So I am planning on making like a full like a vlog on making this bag, so I'm going to just briefly show you now. But Babylon Leather reached out to me end of last year and said would I be interested in receiving one of their kits and like making a video about kind of what I think about it. And I really wasn't sure to start with because this is really out of my comfort zone. Essentially, it's a sew your own bag kit. Using the one I have is leather, so it's like pre-prepared pieces of the bag with kind of pre-punched holes, and then you use the thread and like basically sew up the bag, add kind of like buckles and zips and stuff yourself, with like video-based instructions. And there's quite a lot of different kits to choose from. So I decided to pick something that I could use as a project bag, and yeah, let me show you. I haven't finished it yet. It takes, when you get into the zone of it, it's quite quick. Like I said, I'm not a sewer. I don't really like never really sewed anything. Not that you need a machine or anything, it's hand sewing, but the technique you use is that you use 2 needles at once, so you kind of over sew figure of 8 through all the holes, which makes a really nice neat finish, and the same on both sides of the fabric. But it took a little bit of getting used to, but when I was in the zone, I got the hang of it quite quickly. There was a slight hiccup in that they initially sent me the wrong colour thread, so that had to be resent. But yeah, let me show you. So I have got an affiliate link now with Babylon Leather. So if you want to make your own bag kit, there is a discount that you can use, and I will put the code and the discount down below in the description. But essentially, if you use my code, you get some money off your own kit, and like I get a little bit of commission as well at no extra cost to you. So this is no strings attached at all. But if you fancy it, then why not use my code and we can both benefit. So let me show you the different bits and bobs. So I'm using like a tan leather to make the bag, which if I haven't already, I'll put up on the screen. It's essentially like a big square tote bag, and made out of like tan leather with brown thread. And I actually went for the option to get embossing on the side. More on that in a second. So, oops, this is the thread that you use. It's like a coated thread, and I chose this brown colour. I think it goes quite nicely with the tan of the leather. Initially, the colour they sent me was this white one, which is what the inside pockets are sewn in, and I think it's nice, but I just preferred the tan. And you get all the bits and bobs. So for example, mine comes with like a strap, so it will have handles and also a strap if you want it to have that longer strap. So already came with the strap and all the kind of accessories. This is the main part of the bag. I'll show you. So one side I have attached the handle already, the other side I am working on the handle. So this is the side where I've attached the handle already. It's cool, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with it. So you can see that it's going to be this kind of square shape. These are the front and back panels, and then there will be the side panels, which are these, which I showed you earlier, and they have the kind of D-ring on to attach the hooks for the shoulder strap. Then there is also a zip to sew on across the top. This came pretty much fully sewed. I just kind of attached the ends together there. So that is the zip. Am I showing you this inside out? Yep. Well done, Lizzie. There we go. I was going to say, thought it looked less messy than that. So yes, that was inside out. You can see how, like, from the I've sewed, the handles are sewn onto the inside of the bag, and that's what they look like on the outside. And then these are what the pre-punched holes look like. So when I get round to sewing the second handle on, this is what the holes look like for you to work with. There's a bit of, I actually started sewing the second handle on. This is the second handle. So this is what it comes like. And then you kind of have to just like bend it over like that, and then you sew it up together. I hope you get the point. And then I've got these bulldog clips just to try and make that a bit easier. But yeah, you can see the holes again there. Yes, I actually sewed this one once, and then I realised that I'd sewn, because the edges are all like piped. You can see here the dark, but then this is an unfinished edge. Can you see that? Whereas this is like a finished piped edge. So I actually sewed it all this one, but you have to put the unfinished edge down first, then put the finished edge over it so the unfinished edge is hidden, and I did it the wrong way around, so that wasn't great. So I had to unpick that. I've done it right on this one. You can see it quite well there actually. Yeah. So I had to unpick the second strap, and I think I got a little bit frustrated at that point, put it in the box and haven't picked it up for a little while. However, there is actually really not that much left to do. This strap, attach it, then attach the side panels, and then that's pretty much done, I think. So yeah, really cool, right? Oh, this is the embossing, and I don't think you can see it very well. Again, I haven't been asked to say anything specific about this. I was just asked to make a video, which I will, but as in like a vlog style video. I've taken some footage of me sewing and things like that. But I wasn't asked to say anything particularly like positive or negative. So I don't know how else I'm going to pick up on camera. It'll be very interesting to see. Can you see there, very, very faintly, there is a H and a K. I don't know if it's, if I wiggle it to pick up the light, there. Can you see there? There is a H and a K with my hexagon logo in the middle. And it was brass. They described it as brass embossing, which, me not knowing much about these types of things, I thought it was gonna like be in like picked out in like goldy or brass like lettering, kind of to match like these goldy brassy things. But I think it's just been like embossed, as in like pressure has been put on, almost stamped. And yeah, I just don't think you can see it particularly well. So that would probably be my only like negative comment on this, really. But it really doesn't matter, you know. It was just a bit of an added extra. It's certainly not taken away from the bag or like what the finished product is going to be like. So I'm not too bothered. I don't know whether, I think if I try and emboss it anymore myself or like pick it out anymore, I'm probably just going to do it wrong and make it worse. So I probably will just end up leaving it. I might reach out to them and just say, is there like anything I can do to make this any more obvious? But yeah, it's going to be really, really suave, I think, when it's finished. Yeah, really, really cool. So they have quite a few different options for different bags, more like handbag styles, smaller, larger, tote bags, backpacks, holdalls. There are like small leather goods as well, I think. So yeah, I was really grateful to be asked if I wanted to try it. It's a completely new skill. I've never tried it before. I've done it all just sat at my kitchen table. Would recommend. And yeah, if you want to have a look, if you want to have a nosy on their website, it will be linked below with the affiliate link. And I am working on like a vlog video, more kind of in depth about how I've made it, and some footage of like each step, which will be out at some point when I finish the bag. But I was thinking, what a like suave little project bag. At the minute, I've got like tote bags and like these wool warehouse bags and stuff, and like they're fine, but this is, so it's got a little something about it, hasn't it? Imagine just me on my mat leave with the pram, swanning around with my leather project bag, which, even though you can't really see it, is embossed with my logo. I mean, I think I need to adjust my expectations of what mat leave's going to look like, but yeah. So I'll keep you posted, but this is my Babylon leather project bag DIY sewing kit, which I'm absolutely loving. Right, last thing, yarn dyeing workshop, and then I will sign off. 2 weekends ago? Yeah, me and my mum went to a yarn dyeing workshop at Peak District Yarns in Sizewell, and it's run by Carrie, who is the owner of Peak District Yarns, and it was really, 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 really fun. There was only 6 of us. It was the introduction to yarn dyeing workshop, which meant we had quite a long chat about like hand-dyed yarn and how it looks skeined up compared to when you open the skein, and colour theory, and a little bit about the chemistry of dyeing, and then we basically got to play with dye ourselves, which was really fun. So 1 skein of yarn that you dyed yourself was included in the workshop price, and then you could buy extras if you wanted to. My mum dyed DK weight skein, and I dyed 2 fingering weight skeins. So one of them I've caked up already, one of them I haven't. So we dyed on, she has a lot of different dyeing techniques, but the one that was easiest to show us and for us to do kind of quickly, and like get like dyed and fixed and spun and dried enough for us to take home on the same day, was this particular method. So it was superwash base, merino and nylon, like a sock base basically, and the dyes were like acid dyes, and they'd basically been made up into bottles already by Carrie with different colours, and we put them on the yarns, and then she took them away into the back room and did the magic to like fix it and spin it and get it almost dry, and then we took it home. So this is my baby. Isn't it beautiful? I'm obsessed. So I basically went for, no surprise to anyone, different shades of green. I have some grey in there. But what I did was left like about a third of the yarn undyed. So what I'm hoping, based on what we learned about different, the way that different hand-dyed yarns end up knitting up, is that because I used quite short colour runs, that's my new knowledge. So longer colour runs, like large amounts of colour dyed in the skein, will give you like longer kind of stripes as you knit it up. So I kind of wanted little short colour runs to change the colour quite quickly as I was knitting with it. And yeah, I'll show you what it looks like out of the skein. So probably the best way. Looks quite different, doesn't it? So this end is like almost completely undyed, and then as we go through, you can see my colour runs changing. And yeah, I really, really like it. So what I'm hoping is that this will kind of give me some, yeah, like some little micro colour changes within stripes basically. I think I'm going to use this for something for the baby because it is only 1 skein. I might end up thinking about knitting something striped, but using this hand dyed for the stripes, and then just like a neutral for the others, like alternating this and then like a neutral. I'm not 100% sure yet. I need to think about it a bit more. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm so pleased with it. And it was just really fun to like learn a new skill. I haven't skeined that up well at all. I was quite proud of how I'd done it before. That was terrible. What a mess. Let's try that again. She showed us how you twist it. It was really interesting actually as well. She showed us that if you reskein some yarns that have been skeined, like you start twisting them at different points and then you put them into a different skein, they look totally different on the shelf. And she was kind of saying like now you kind of know to sort of try before you buy. If you aren't sure if you'll like a hand-dyed yarn, like open the skein with the dyer's permission, obviously. And it was just really, really mind-blowing what she was telling us. There we go. That's better. Ta-da! Ta-da! So yeah, that's this one. I need to cake it up, but I wanted to wait until I was able to show you on the podcast. I'm sorry, I'm just got really distracted. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? That's beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to wait until I'd shown you, so I can now cake it up and then maybe swatch, and we can see what it comes out like. If it comes out, it's all mathsy, so it depends on the circumference. So if you make socks on a small circumference, it's going to come out very different than if you made like something on a bigger circumference, like a garment. So yeah, I need to swatch it and see, but my swatch obviously won't be, my swatch will be most likely back and forth, because I don't want to have to cut, do one in the round and cut it, because this is a limited edition. I'll have a think. I'm hoping it'll make some little micro stripes, and then I'll be able to decide what I want to do with that in a garment. And then, so yeah, this one I planned out, like, took quite a long time deciding what to do, like arranged all my colours, did some tests on the like paper towel and stuff, basically spent ages, and then was really scared about dyeing it and was like, oh, what if I make a mistake? Then I made a second skein and literally was the opposite. I threw all caution out the window, basically threw colour around, which is very unlike me, and I absolutely love the result. I made the choice to make a second skein quite late on, so I didn't have loads of time. So I basically found the brightest colours of Carrie's dyes that I could find, and then just kind of blotted them everywhere. She called me Jackson Pollock while I was doing it, and oh my god, isn't it incredible? I have balled this one up. I didn't leave it in skein because I was too excited to try and swatch with it. I actually haven't got around to swatching with it, but look at that. I mean, if I just take a strand, you can see what, well, I say you can see, I hope you can see what I did with the colour. So there's some pink, there's some blue. Oh, camera, stop being silly. There's obviously loads of white. There's some more blue, some orange. It was just so fun. What else have we got? More pink, orange, bit of yellow coming. Yeah, it was super, super, super fun. So I'm not going to delve too much into it now because I'm aware of time, but I think I might try and make a pair of socks with this. It's definitely not something that I would wear like next to my skin. It's I could do like the same as what I was saying with the other one, do like little hand dyed stripes and make like basically use this as like half a quantity, but it was so out of my comfort zone that I kind of want to do something also out of my comfort zone with it. I've only ever made one pair of socks and they scarred me for life. They were the Will and the Gang kind of magic socks. They were impossible to meet gauge on. They were the ones that if you met gauge, supposedly, you got like leopard print. But they just, I wear them around the house. But yeah, when I told Carrie about them, she was like, don't base your sock knitting career on those. And I was like, understood. And I haven't knit socks ever since because I just found them so horrendous to make. But it wasn't sock knitting, it was trying to get the gauge and maintain the gauge, and oh, it was just a nightmare. So I now have an opportunity to make some really fun socks here. I could just do some vanilla socks in stockinette and really let this yarn like take the lead, maybe with some contrast cuffs and toes, but I just think that'd be really, really fun. But I am a little bit intimidated because I don't really have any of like the knowledge for sock making. Like I know a little bit about different heel types, the wool in the gang socks use an afterthought heel. It's not that technical bit that I'm intimidated by. It's more like, how do I know what gauge I'm going to work at? How do I know what needles to buy? I don't have any I don't have any tiny needles. I don't know if I don't love magic loop and I don't love DPN, so would I want some very short circulars? Do I invest in like a set? Because how will I know what needle size I need? It's just a whole thing, and I'm a bit like overwhelmed by the prospect of starting. However, I feel like if I can get my sock mojo on, it might be very good for when I have a small person to look after, because you can pick them up and put them down a bit easier than garments, and they're a bit more instant gratification because they're not as huge. So I would love actually to be able to find my sock mojo, and I feel like this yarn might be the thing to kickstart it. I just need to get over my fear of like the equipment that I need, which sounds ridiculous, but like at the minute I was like, oh, I'll just swatch with these, and I was like, well, I can't because I don't have the right need. Like, I don't have any. I think I have some 2.75s, and that's probably the smallest I've got. Where do I start? If you were a complete sock beginner, where would you start? Would you just bite the bullet and buy like a set of sock interchangeables? Would you get a couple of pairs of like short circulars in, say, 2.5, 2.75? I'm quite a tight knitter, so I feel like I would probably need to size up. I just don't know. Will I be such a tight knitter on such a small circumference? I just don't know. Let me know what you think. But I think these would make absolutely sick socks. And yeah, this could be the gateway, guys. This could be the gateway drug. So I have waffled on for plenty long enough. Clearly, I had lots and lots to show you, which is good. I'll really try not leave it so long next time, but life is a little bit out of my control at the moment, and that's fine. So we'll just roll with it, and I'll get another video out when I get another video out. So let me know what you think about my armhole options for the Tao Slipover / the Wallace Slipover. Let me know what you think I could do with, not what you think I could do, let me know about like being a total sock novice and where you would start. And yeah, really nice to catch up. Hope you've enjoyed me popping back into your lives for an hour. And yeah, take care everyone, and I'll see you very soon. I will hopefully get my leather project bag finished so you can see a bit more of that. And would you be interested in the like vlog video of the process of making it? Let me know. Right, I'm gonna go before my voice runs out, and I also need a wee. So take care everyone, happy knitting, bye.